When you think of history, your mind probably goes to famous people or battles of epic proportion, or to the plagues that ravaged the world hundreds of years ago. It is easy to oversimplify such a different time like the Middle Ages or the Roman Empire, as vestiges of a time that was long ago, and forget that millions of individual people were born and lived full lives of happiness, grief, stress, love, and died. For every Julius Caesar or Genghis Khan, there were hundreds of workers under them that have been forgotten, or the kids on the street that happened to see them once while they rode by, or the people who lived hundreds of miles away that lived at the same time, but never even heard the name Julius Caesar or Genghis Khan. This is the story not about great kings or epic battles, but of a boy and his drawings. Our tale begins in the 13th century in a small town in Russia named Novgorod. Novgorod was believed to be founded in the 9th century AD, and by the Middle Ages had developed into a bustling village. It is here, in this Russian village, that an unassuming boy named Onfim lived. Most of Onfim's life is lost to the sands of time, and it can be assumed that he had a normal life and didn't really do anything of note in the grand tapestry of humanity. Onfim was just another faceless person forgotten to time. This all changed because starting in the 1950s, over 1,100 birch bark manuscripts have been found around the town, now called Veliki Novgorod, which literally translates to Great New Town. You see, in the 13th century, Novgorod was surrounded by birch trees, and for hundreds of years had been used by locals for writing on, as birch bark was easily available and is naturally soft and easy to write on. The area around Novgorod is naturally very damp, and so when these birch bark manuscripts were thrown out, they were preserved in the swamps around the town. Out of the over 1,100 manuscripts found, only 17 of them were made by Onfim, who would have been about 6 or 7 years old at the time. The 17 manuscripts are most likely Onfim's homework, as most of the text is just him practicing the old Novgorod alphabet and repeating the syllables. There are also psalms and phrases like, "Lord, help your servant Onfim," and "Show me thy mercy, O Lord, for I am brought low. Heal me, O Lord, for my bones are vexed." And, "Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though they should rise against me, in this I will be confident." But more interesting than the schoolwork of psalms and alphabet, it seems that Onfim may have gotten bored with his work, and on 12 of the 17 birch bark pieces there are drawings. These drawings are believed to be the oldest children's drawings that have survived to the modern day. In this picture, Onfim appears to have drawn a horse, or possibly a dragon. The text outside the box reads, "I am the wild beast," while the text inside the box reads, "Greetings from Onfim to Danilo." Danilo was most likely a classmate and friend of Onfim's. In this picture, Onfim writes the letters A through K, and below that is Onfim's name. It appears he got a bit bored, as this drawing appears to depict Onfim as a knight riding a horse using a lance or spear. Pinpointing exactly when Onfim drew these is a bit difficult, as the method of dating these birch bark documents has a certain degree of error, with some claiming that Onfim made these drawings in the 1220s, while others say it was a few decades later in the 1260s. Other than these drawings, there is no other record or mention of Onfim. Did he grow up and get married? Or perhaps, did he become a knight like in one of his drawings? We may never know, but archaeologists say that there may be as many as 20,000 more birch bark documents still out there and waiting to be discovered, so we may very well see more of Onfim in the future. When reflecting on the everyday aspects of history, which are mundane yet equally fascinating, I am reminded of a relatively new word, sonder. This term captures the profound realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as our own. It's absolutely mind-boggling to consider how millions have come before us, each leading a life filled with unique experiences, emotions, and stories. Similarly, millions will follow after us, continuing the journey of human existence. we might end up like Onfim, the ancient child whose simple drawings have survived through the ages, leaving only a sliver of our lives for archaeologists to discover. Even though some will think that this is a somber notion, I do not see it that way. Rather, it should make us appreciate the little things that we sometimes take for granted.